He can show you anything. So to answer your question, so I don't digress. It's not sometimes. It's not say the Holy Spirit is not speaking, but maybe the things you're supposed to do to hear Him, you're not yet doing it, or you are not positioned well to hear Him. If that is the case, I'm not saying that. If that's the case, there are some teachings on the channel, auditory prophets, visual prophets, how to hear God, sensory prophets. Go and watch those ones, and they're to help you. If you are positioned well, and it's just a matter of sometimes God knows, because sometimes God is silent. There was if you read Revelations, there's a time for 30 minutes where there was silence in the heavens. Nobody was talking. That thing is so powerful because, in the heavens, continuously there's praise and worship happening in the heavens. The angels are always singing. They are always ministering to the Lord. That is why God did not necessarily create you for worship. Let me tell you, you see, when God created man, the instruction He gave man will let you know why God created man. As He says, God created you for worship. And so you hear worship ministers using this, and God created us for worship. If you don't worship Him, I say, sister, brother, take your time. There is worship continuously going on in the heavens. In fact, the cherubims, the seraphims, the 24 elders, in fact, they remove their crown and put it down and bow and say holy. Some of us, even our worship is not even correct. You hear people say that, and God cannot without your worship. And I said, my brother, it's an opportunity for us to worship God. That's why I said that even if you don't do it, I'll cause the stones to do it. So in the heavens, there's continuous worship. Continuous worship. Continuous worship. But there was a time where there was silence because there was an issue with respect to the salvation of man. They said, who shall go before us? And then they said, there was no one ready to break the seal of the scroll. And then there was silence in the heavens. Then the angel came and spoke to the elder and said, weep no more. Because the lamb of the lamb has overcome. And he is ready to break the seal. So that was when there was silence in the heavens. So sometimes there can be silence in your spiritual life where God is not speaking. But sometimes, let me tell you this. When God is silent, it means that number one, what you are asking for is obvious. It's more obvious to you than you think. And so God is expecting you to know that this is what you have to do. Sometimes when God is not, you are praying, God do this. It means that the answer is obvious to you. It's there, but you are just not paying attention. God knows that the thing is just before you. And some of us, we know the answer, but we are still praying. God, speak about it. And sometimes God is silent, and we feel like it's silent. Some of you are like that. God is silent. It feels like it's silent. Because you, for example, especially those of you who are in relationships that are trying to find out which one to do. And then you know that this one, God does not want you to be in it. And you are praying, God, what is it? Is He for me? Is He for me? And God is quiet. Because He knows, and then you know that you know the answer you are asking. So sometimes He's silent because the answer is obvious. Sometimes it is because you know the answer and you are still asking. The last thing that I'll say when God is silent is that sometimes when God is silent, it means that the move you're about to take, He does not want you to take that step. Now when God is silent, because if He wants you to go, He tell you to go. But sometimes if He's silent, it means that the thing that you are trying to do, step into, God is telling you to hold on. Take your time. So you have to just know that no. Once God is not speaking, I don't move. Because if God does not speak, don't move. So once He's silent, it means that He's telling you that don't move. Stay. Okay. Should there be a time of prayer separated